If keeping a container of candy or lollies in the house scares you, then this video is for you. When you come from a background of dieting or restricting or telling yourself that certain foods are good versus bad, it means that you actually then internalize that. This food now has a moral compass, and it means that you are a good or bad person for eating this food. Now, let me tell you something. The things that you should feel bad for are things like robbing a bank, burning down a house, stealing somebody's puppy. Things that you should never feel guilty for is actually eating food. I don't care what the food is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and deny that I understand that some foods have more nutritional value and benefits than other foods, but that does not mean that then some foods are bad and some foods are good. It does not mean that you are a bad or good person for eating any particular foods. We have to start to change that mindset, because this is going to allow you to actually learn how to take back control over the food. When food just becomes food and all food is on an equal playing field, it means that you then don't live with any guilt or shame for eating in a particular way, which means that there is less food anxiety, there's less stress, and you actually end up having a much healthier relationship with food, and there's no all or nothing mentality. You see, when you have demonized foods, you have now put this food up on a pedestal. This food now has control over you rather than you controlling that food. It has a novelty effect about it. And the thing is that when that happens is that once you have a little bit of it, you can't stop, because we all have this little inner rebellious side of us that likes to come out. It's the same as telling a child to not go and press a big red button or to not jump on the couch. All of a sudden, all they're thinking is, how can I jump on the couch? How can I press that big red button? The little inner rebellious side of that comes out. Now, us being adults, we're no different to kids. We actually still have that inner rebellious side of us there. And so when you tell yourself you can't have this food and it's up on the pedestal, you kind of want it even more. Think about that time where you had chocolate in the house and you told yourself, don't have the chocolate, don't have the chocolate, don't have the chocolate. All you could think about was the chocolate, right? You knew exactly where it was. You'd think about it every waking moment of every day. After every meal, you'd be craving it. So then you'll tell yourself, oh, let's just have a little bit. You have a little bit and you're like, oh, why did we do that? Now I feel so guilty. Snap, your brain switches. It's now like, well, we've already had that. We may as well just keep going. We're already bad enough. Let's go all in and be completely bad. You then start telling yourself, well, if we eat all of this chocolate now, then it's gone. It's out of the house. I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. So now we are actually in the Last Supper mentality and the all or nothing mentality. Because what happens is that your brain thinks that this is the last time I'm ever going to be able to get this food, because once it's gone, it's gone. We're back to being restricted again. So now you finish every single last bite. And that's it. It's gone. Until the next time it's back in the house, right? Like you've never learned that control over the food. Plus, once you finish eating that food, all of it, you now are sitting in guilt, in shame, in frustration. Through your mind, you're circling with self-criticism of, why did I do that? Why did I put my body through that? I need to be better. So you hop onto social media and you start scrolling through all of the different ways of restricting and dieting and what new thing you're going to be starting on Monday. And then the cycle starts all over again. So in order for you to actually be able to have your favorite foods, whether this is candy, this is lollies, this is chocolate, this is ice cream, this is chips, whatever, in the house, to not think about it, to not overeat on it, and to not binge on it, is you actually have to learn how to remove this food down off the pedestal. The thing with healing your relationship with food is that you can't talk your way into it. Actions speak a lot louder than words, which means that you're going to have to physically challenge yourself with the food. So this means I want you to pick one food. In fact, actually, before we do that, I want you to draw a triangle on a piece of paper. At the top of the triangle is the scariest fear food that you have. The bottom of the triangle is a food that you could start to challenge today. It feels a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not too bad. And then every food in between. So let's say a jar or a container of candies or lollies is literally at the top of that triangle. And then down the bottom, maybe it's Pringles. And then you fill in the blanks in between. What we want to do is we want to start with the one at the bottom, tick that off, and then move to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. What this does is this allows you to build hardcore physical evidence that you can challenge that food and you can have control back over that food. And then you go to the next one. And each time you do this, you're proving to yourself that nothing bad happens from eating that food, that your body knows exactly what to do with the food. Your body is designed to eat food, digest food, convert food to energy, and repeat that again and again and again. So it's going to be okay. The world will keep spinning. You'll keep living and you'll be okay. Eventually, you'll then get to the scariest fear food. But by now, you've got all this evidence to prove that you can actually do that too. And so when you're challenging each of the fear foods, I never want you to have them isolated. I want you to incorporate them as part of your day. So let's say you're challenging candy or lollies. Maybe you want to have it as part of lunch dessert. Maybe as part of afternoon tea with a bowl of yogurt and fruit. Maybe as part of dinner dessert at the end of the day. Maybe you want to start with pre-portioned lollies before you go to having 5 different packs. That's okay. Again, you're starting to build evidence. For me personally, when I was challenging chocolate, I started with the fun-sized chocolates that were pre-packaged. Then worked out to now being able to have 6 boxes of chocolate in the fridge, because personally I think chocolate belongs in the fridge, not the cupboard, just saying. But I have the chocolate there. 6 boxes just sitting there. But I wasn't able to start with that. I started with pre-packaged fun-sized chocolates to begin with. Challenged that, learned that I was okay, nothing bad was going to happen. Now, the reality is that when you first challenge this fear food, yeah, sure, you might actually eat a little bit more than what you wanted to. The first time I challenged chocolate chip cookies for myself, I ate the whole tray. Full honesty. In one afternoon, I ate the entire tray of chocolate chip cookies. But then I had to challenge it again. And again, and again, and again, until my brain trusted me that I had unconditional permission to eat those cookies. Now I could bake a batch of cookies and the cookies could literally sit there for 3 weeks. They're delicious, they're fun, they're exciting, but they don't have a novelty effect about them anymore. I am the one in control over the cookies rather than the cookies controlling me. I know that this feels scary, and so if you need to create a calming environment, if you need to have somebody else there to support you through it as you challenge these foods, do it. But you have to physically challenge this. You can't talk your way out of binging. You can't talk your way to food freedom. Actions speak louder than words, and we have to physically challenge it all to get you to the other side. And eventually, one day, you'll be able to keep a jar, a tub, whatever of your favorite food in the house and forget that it even exists sometimes. Like, it's just there. It's just part of life. And that is one of the coolest parts about food freedom.